Dr. Ozkan is a remarkable example for our graduates and a model for what it means to serve the greater good. So please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, a distinguished scholar, longtime Buckeye, a teacher and mentor to students under her care, and someone I'm proud to call a colleague. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Umit Ozkan.
Thank you, President Carter, for that very kind introduction. Hello, graduates. Hello, families and guests of our graduates. And hello, members of the Ohio State family. This is a very happy occasion. This is a celebration. And I would like to start by congratulating all our graduates who are getting their degrees today. Your hard work paid off and you made it. But equally importantly, I would like to congratulate the family members who are here today. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, spouses, children, friends. I'm sure your love, your support, and oftentimes your sacrifice made a huge difference in arriving to this day. So I also want to congratulate you and I applaud you. But I would like to have all our graduates, please stand up, turn your face to where your families are, and give them a standing ovation and a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Please be seated. I'm extremely honored and humbled to be the 440th commencement speaker. This is an honor that I could not have ever imagined. And to be honest, I'm a bit overwhelmed. So graduates, I hope you're not too disappointed to have a faculty member as your commencement speaker rather than a celebrity from outside. I can almost see some of you thinking, oh no, another lecture by a faculty member? Didn't we have enough of those in the last 4, 5, however many years? I promise you, there's no lecture, there's no quiz at the end, and my remarks will not be 48 minutes long. I just want to share with you very briefly my life's journey and share some life's lessons that I learned along the way. My journey started in Turkey. Yes, that faraway country that sits on 2 different continents, Europe and Asia. That's where I was born, and that's where I grew up. Although I have been a proud citizen, naturalized citizen of the United States for nearly 4 decades now, my story is very much an immigrant story. I was born as the youngest of 3 daughters in a middle-income family. We don't have a lot of material things, but there was a lot of love and support in my family, especially a love of education and learning. My parents, especially my father, kept saying, my daughters can be anything, they can do anything. And I believed him, I really believed him. So this self-worth, self-confidence that my parents instilled in me sustained me through all the ups and downs and through all the hard times along the way. So parents and grandparents in the audience, I'm sure you know how important those early messages are and how they are internalized by young children. I was a good student. I loved math, science. I loved chemistry, especially chemistry. So chemical engineering was a natural choice for me when I decided to decide on a discipline, and my parents supported me. After getting my bachelor's and master's degrees, I decided to pursue my doctoral studies here in the United States. My parents were again supportive, although I I'm sure it was not easy for them to see their youngest daughter, the baby in the family, to fly so far away from home. I got my doctoral degree from Iowa State University, another wonderful land-grant institution, just like Ohio State is. Right after graduation, I started my faculty career here at Ohio State. That was more than 40 years ago. I was the first female chemical engineering faculty to be hired at Ohio State. This was at a time when engineering was still considered quote-unquote non-traditional for women. In the entire country, there were fewer than 8 or 9 female chemical engineering faculty members. So I'm deeply grateful to Ohio State for taking a chance in hiring me into engineering college, not only a woman, but an immigrant woman. I could not have chosen a better institution to start my career. I found that I could fulfill both of my passions here, teaching and seeking new knowledge. And as a teacher, I taught thousands of students, undergraduate and graduate students. The most gratifying part of this journey has been seeing my students grow to their full potential and become very successful professionals in their own right. Ohio State also allowed me to establish a cutting-edge research program in electrocatalysis and catalysis. In case you never heard of the word catalyst, this is a little bit like a lecture, but very short. It's a substance that makes a chemical reaction go forward at a much faster rate without getting consumed in the process. In my research group, we have been tackling some really important problems using catalysis. Problems related to energy, environment, sustainable chemical manufacturing. Our projects have real relevance, such as making hydrogen from renewable sources, developing precious metal-free catalysts for fuel cells, treating water contaminated with chlorinated hydrocarbons, or controlling emissions to prevent air pollution. Recently, we're working on a project for making ammonia from just water and nitrogen. You may say, what's so important about ammonia? Isn't there a process already for making ammonia? Well, you know, we use most of ammonia for making fertilizers. That's how we feed the world population. Without ammonia, 50% of the world population today would be starving. And yes, there is a process, a 100-year-old process for making ammonia, but it uses high temperatures, high pressures, and pure hydrogen that comes from fossil fuel. Of course, it leads to a lot of carbon dioxide emissions, which leads to global warming. We are trying to make ammonia at atmospheric pressure using just water and nitrogen. You can tell I get really excited when I talk about research. In my research group, I have been very fortunate to have worked with more than 100 extremely talented young men and women, PhD students, master's students, postdoctoral researchers, undergraduate researchers, honors students who come from all over the world. My research group is like a mini United Nations. These young researchers are the ones who keep challenging me, motivating me by their curiosity, their endless energy, and their brilliant creativity. I learned so much from them, much more than they learned from me. And any research recognition that I received so far, everything really belongs to my students. Actually, one of my PhD students is getting her diploma today. A brilliant young woman, Snehal Patil, somewhere over there, and her parents came all the way from India to witness her graduate with her PhD. So I want to give them a shout out from here. I'm proud to have touched the lives of so many Buckeyes that were in my classrooms and in my laboratories. But more importantly, they touched my life and enriched it in so many different ways. So I'm grateful to all my students, thousands of students, for being part of my journey for the last 4 decades. I want to finish by sharing a few life lessons I learned along the way. They served me well, and I hope they will serve you well also. Don't be afraid of failures. You cannot really grow professionally unless you fail sometimes. Failures are the dress rehearsals for success. Be bold, be brave, don't be afraid of challenges. Don't settle for what seems easy and comfortable. Choose the path that seems more difficult. Oftentimes you will see that it makes all the difference in the world. Never stop learning. Actually, graduation is the beginning of lifelong learning. That's why we call it commencement, right? Be curious. Question everything. Don't take anything at face value. Whether it is something you see on social media or on ChatGPT or even in scientific literature, question everything, especially at a time when the line between fact and fiction seems to be getting more and more blurred. Seek out what is true. Reach out to people, even if you disagree with them. Speak with them, listen to them. You will find that what unites us is far greater than what separates us. There's no such thing as us versus them. There's just us. It is our humanity that really connects us together. Believe in human dignity, regardless of their face or skin color or religion, or the language they speak. All human beings deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. Be yourself, be sincere, be authentic. The world needs you as you are, not as you pretend to be. Be kind. The world needs more kindness. Often any act of kindness will come back to you when you least expect it. And don't forget to be kind to yourselves. Be gentle with yourselves. Remember, there's only one you, and you are precious. Stay connected to your alma mater. Remember, coming back to Ohio State campus will always be like going back home. Graduates, you are now a member of this large and incredible family, the Buckeye family. You are now part of the Ohio State legacy that spans more than 150 years. Be proud of being part of this history. Be proud of being part of this legacy. Be proud of being a Buckeye. Wherever you go in the world, you will always find other Buckeyes who will share the same pride with you. And I'm one of those proud Buckeyes. Okay, graduates, go out and be a catalyst for change and change the world for the better. Thank you and best wishes.